Hello, welcome. Welcome to the ActionVFX live stream and hangout. Hi, everyone. You're joined today by myself, Tom, Sam, and Wyatt. Hey, guys. Just while we're getting set up and we're just, going to get familiar, just let us know that you can hear us loud and clear. No technical issues, no anything there. So, just give us a thumbs up in the like and, just to ensure that everything is working. I know that we had a couple of technical things with time zones. It's one of the many things of being like completely international is that sometimes logging into YouTube will automatically correct it and then send us back into some 10 p.m. times. So apologies if you thought that we were doing a night show. Other than that, so just again, to get the chat going, we are actually going to be giving away a VFX starter pack. Or starter collection, rather. Sorry, and if you want to be entered during that, do ask us a question, and you will be considered for that winning a prize, which is great. And we have a question for you. Well, we also get off, and we are wanting to know from you what is the most challenging effect you have ever created. Let us know in the comments and let's get chatting. But Sam, I'm going to kick off with you, mate. What has been the most challenging shot for you?
Ooh, let's see. So one of the most challenging shots that I've ever done was I was filming these scenes with a buddy of mine that's ex-military, and he really wanted to utilize a lot of our like dust explosions and dirt blasts just to kind of like create sort of an artillery fire scene. And so we went out in this field, and then we got the camera rolling, and then we picked up and we ran like he was running from artillery shells. And man, motion tracking that later was absolutely horrible. I don't know if we actually have the clip available to show or not.
We do, and I can. I'm just actually letting our process right now because that's now been uploaded. But yeah, do you want to introduce this one?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know whether you did introduce that. Just like autoplayed. Yeah, go on.
That's all right. So it's a very, very quick scene, but a lot of that motion tracking had to be done manually. No systems or softwares or anything would work just with how much motion blur and movement there was. So it was a lot of manual tracking, zooming in, pixel peeping. Look, that blob kind of looks like this blob from way over here, and then that one kind of looks like this one. But yeah, that one definitely took me probably about a day and a half just to motion track.
I feel like it's always motion tracking and roto that's kind of like the pains.
Yes, because I also had to rotoscope that as well, because as he runs through different layers of fog and dust, so between the tracking and the rotoscoping, I think that shot probably took me about 2 or 3 days.
Wow. Do you guys find that when you have a really janky shot, you're like, this isn't going to roto at all? The roto brush works perfectly. And then you have like the simplest shot in the world, and the motion tracker is like, error, it cannot find the next frame. That happens every time.
Yes.
Far too often. I had a mine was a shot that I haven't uploaded or have access to anymore, but it was running through the woods, and it was three of us kind of like being chased by blasters and stuff, and lots of depth, lots of trees. And as you can imagine, we were then kind of going like, not having to roto ourselves, everything that was moving past. And it was just, I think for me, it was a running shot too, handheld. So everything that you kind of want to not do with tracking and stabilization. And I went and did it. So that was fun. Wyatt, have you got any?
Well, I think I'm trying to think of like the most complicated shot. Thinking back on it now, I'm like, if I did it again today, I'd probably do it 10 times faster. But I remember I struggled a lot. There was a Corridor Digital video called Scooty done by Peter France.
Yeah.
And I was doing a shot where a guy with a wig on is lying on the hood of a car with wind blowing in his hair. And I needed to rotoscope out him and also keep the reflections. So that was my first time rotoscoping out hair. Luckily, the roto brush has a lot of great tools for that, but it was a nightmare at first trying to learn how to like do it and then how to get the reflections and everything. It was hard.
Tools now have made it a lot easier. I mean, even Runway ML and etc. have been fantastic to additions. But I feel like the early days of rotoscoping and stuff is let's never go back there to the dark ages. As obviously we want to come here and talk about all these amazing tools and stuff, but obviously we also have we've had a bunch of new updates going on at ActionVFX as well from our subscriptions, but also our library. And we kind of obviously want to put a spotlight on some of those new additions. I'm just going to remove the tickers and stuff for that for now, and our warm-up question, just so we can actually view some of these. But our library is always expanding, and one of the latest additions is Cumulus Cloudscapes. I always miss out the part because we have got the VDB Cumulus Cloud, which is done by the same person, Mark Whitelaw, who is actually works for ILM, which that's always incredible. Like every time that we get to talk to people who do these amazing things, is always like, oh, okay, wow, this is going to be something special. So we have everything. This collection is about 240 assets, and they range from different times of the day, available in PNG and EXR. And it wasn't until we were talking this week about them, and they've just been released. And we were informed that technically there are 6,750 combinations possible for each lighting scenario when you're using the EXRs. I know, Wyatt, you actually got to use these because you did the promotional trailer.
Mm-hmm. It's great to have these on deck because a lot of the times more visual elements can make a shot more interesting. So if you have a shot with just a plain blue sky in the background, throwing in clouds can help. But also if you overexpose your shot and you have kind of just a blown out white background, being able to replace the whole thing and throw in some of these cloud assets is what can keep your footage from looking very amateur. And that's where these really shine, especially with just how much flexibility they have to match any lighting setup. It's very impressive.
And these shots as well, like these were provided by Mark, and they are stunning. Like these ones at sunset are just beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've had they've been a big addition to the library and already being very popular. But we've also had a couple of like it's always interesting because we always get like it's never like one of the same thing again. It's always something different in different areas. And obviously, like, so all three of us, we work very closely with making product media and trailers, stuff as you already know. Yeah, it's kind of, so it's always interesting when we're working with contributors or them bringing in other stuff to for us to promote. And we have a new one here, which is Animated Fantasy FX Volume 2. And this is actually the first time that I've seen the trailer, and I feel like it's pretty awesome. Hang on, again, I'm just going to remove the ticker that we have going on. So this is Animated Fantasy FX Volume 2. Ooh. I love those. I've recently watched Arcane and immediately just went, oh, okay, we could do something cool with these.
Yeah, those are really great. If we can do some animation to incorporate them in, that would be fun to try out.
Sam, have you had much experience with these ones?
I have not. I'm not too terribly much of an animated guy. So I think they're super awesome and super incredible. It's just it's more difficult for me to conceptualize and imagine scenarios to use them in, because I don't think in animation that often, just coming from the cinema world.
Yeah. There was I used to work in motion graphics a long time ago, and doing stuff like that takes, you know, those the anime lines, they take a long time to do.
Oh, I'm sure.
Which I'm always impressed by, one, the quality of like these animated assets, but also like how quickly it then kind of makes stuff. You know, it can make application. So like if you're working on something, or kind of like, you know, those explosions are pretty cool. I could imagine them in games, like, no doubt. But we've just had a knock on the door of our backstage door. Oh, sorry, hang on. I've just seen this question. Are the 2D cumulus clouds the same elements that are available in the 3D section? Sam, would you guys take this?
I don't believe they're the exact same. They are made by the same creator, so they're going to have a lot of the same appearance and a lot of the same functionality. But with the 3D, since those are VDBs, you get a lot more customization within them, since you can add your own lighting to them. I know that the Cloudscapes do come with EXR passes, so you do have the ability to change some of the lighting to a certain degree. But within the actual 3D VDB assets, you get a lot more customization. And again, they are made by the same person, so you're going to get the same quality. Mark is really exceptional, and I think you're going to be happy with either. It just depends on.
Oh, hang on. I've lost Sam.
Oh.
Why have you lost Sam?
Oh, he popped in for a second, then.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait. It looks like he's moving.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
There he is. Okay.
I was sitting really still waiting on.
Yeah. You were just keeping us in suspense there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, sorry.
Did you guys hear the full answer?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
I felt like I've heard parts. Yeah. It was a tail off at the end. But we've had a knock on the door and someone special joining us. Please welcome our CEO. Hey.
Hey.
How's it going,
What's
Ro?
up, everybody? Doing well, doing well. How's it going?
We're going
Phenomenal.
very well. We've just been going through some recent additions to the library.
Nice, nice. Glad to be joining everybody. Sorry for the delay there. That was always planned from the get-go, of course. So
It's all about dramatic effect.
Yeah, it's you and Sam are just both trying to keep us in suspense and be like, yeah, everyone's on their toes.
nice. Well, yeah,
I'll
I'm
just-
excited.
I'll just do
Get
this
to
so
hear.
y'all know if you lose me. I'll just
keep moving.
Yeah.
I get to
Well-
hear a little bit about the question with the 3D, well, the Cumulus cloudscapes, and yeah, it was super cool working with Mark on those. It's like I mean, there's, like Sam said, there's definitely a lot of similarities between the two. Like the 2D ones were kind of made from the 3D ones. I mean, of course, like some things are going to change slightly along the way, but it was basically saying, hey, how can we take these great 3D assets, because some people maybe don't really have VDBs on their workflows right now, and they're more used to compositing and things like that. So that's kind of the mindset behind creating these. And yeah, looks super great. Definitely can't wait to see all the cool things people do with them.
Absolutely. And well, with not just the Cumulus Cloudscape and Animated Fantasy FX Volume 2, but we've also had a bunch of new additions to our 3D library as well. These things, like I mean, personally for me, I've been playing around with these in Blender quite a lot. I've been making some scenery, but like thank you, Wyatt. These props are fantastic quality. So we've had everything from burlap sandbag barricades, folding metal chairs, barbed wire fence and gates, large weapon cases, military cots, wooden crates, fuel canisters, folding cloth stool, portable military satellite, and a military field desk. There's absolutely loads now that we've added, and I'll play. Well, or Wyatt, can you play the small little render that I made to highlight some of these?
What's the name of it, Tom?
I will do it. Sorry, Wyatt. I was hovering over the thing as you asked. Yeah.
Those are so sick.
I mean, the quality on there's all of them are fantastic, but there's something about the medical bag that there's like such fine detail in like the canvas, the canvas material that is just, it just looks beautiful.
Yeah, you can like feel the texture just looking at it.
Yeah, all of them have this wonderful thing where like now because we've got the at the time of making that we didn't have the tents, but now that we've got those, I believe we talked about doing some sort of like we're gonna have to make some sort of little trailer with zombies attacking an army base or something, make some sort of cool scene. But yeah, all of those new additions are added into the library, it's making it. Well, yeah, I feel like we've got a colossal collection now. It's always expanding. Oh. Is there an easy way to add a bleeding arm cut onto a moving arm?
I thought that was an interesting question. If you check out our exploding head tutorial, which uses a lot of the severed wounds and limbs assets, a lot of those can be reapplied to removing an arm. And then You just got to motion track it. If you're depending on the movements you're doing, I would say go look at the stock footage first and then shoot your clip according to the angle of the stock footage, and that'll always help blend it better.
That's actually really good advice to plan ahead. I'm a big fan in the pre-production planning, but also I know that that it shows quite a lot in our rain tutorial, Sam, which I believe Sam you did, using a warp effect as well. It's actually quite effective.
Yes, yeah, I would definitely recommend looking into Mocha Pro's mesh warp. It is incredible.
Phenomenal. Cool. Well, obviously, one of the biggest updates that we've recently had involves our subscription plans. And that is what our fearless leader is here to talk to us all about as well. But first, I kind of thought like we would play the explainer video that was released alongside it. So that way everyone's on top of things, has the context, and we could dive in deeper to what this all means for you guys. So, Wyatt.
With the right tools, you can create better visual effects in less time. Whether you're an individual artist or running a professional studio, the ActionVFX subscription gives you tailored access to the assets you need. Start with our Essentials plan and unlock the Essentials catalog, a collection of over 3,000 assets, updated monthly with high-value additions. Looking for more? You get monthly or yearly credits to download assets from the entire library with the Plus plan. Any asset or collection, it's yours. From dramatic rain effects to epic explosions, your next masterpiece is just a click away. Each asset's value is measured in credits, ensuring fair pricing based upon its type, complexity, and production cost. Using credits is simple. Browse the library, select your assets, and click Get. The asset is yours instantly, and you keep it forever. Need extra credits? Custom credit packs let you purchase exactly what you need whenever inspiration strikes. Anything you download is licensed to you forever. Unlike other subscriptions, you're still licensed to continue using the assets if you cancel your plan. Professional grade effects are one click away.
All right.
You guys did such a great job editing this video. Like every time I watch it, it's just like, man, this is cool.
No, it was a massive team effort as well. Like it took everyone involved on this call, and more so to get that done. And it is a great video. But yeah, I believe Sam started off with the animation. Wyatt did sound effects. Many of us looked at the script and things to make sure it was all cohesive, made sense, and told you guys the best information. But what we want to kind of do is dive in a little bit deeper to what this all means. So, Ro, what is happening with our subscription plans?
Yeah, so as you all know, last September we did some updates to just the ActionVFX business model, so to speak, with introducing our subscription and really adjusting and changing the way you could get assets on the platform. And well, I guess a week and a half ago now, it's still pretty recent. We went ahead and did some new updates to the subscription. And a lot of that was based on user feedback on just how to improve things and how to make things a little bit, just like more intuitive for everyone, but also more beneficial. Because at the end of the day, it's like we can never lose by making something more valuable for our users. So one big thing we did was starting with the introduction of the Essentials plan, which a lot of the feedback that we received, because at first it's easy to think like, hey, someone would definitely want to be getting credits every month. And it's like, yes, some people would want that, but at the same time, it can cause a lot of unnecessary anxiety, because it's like, well, if I don't need this credit right now, then, I don't need to be getting it, and then I'm not really using it. So we really were thinking, okay, what's the best way to approach that? So that's when we decided to do the Essentials plan, which really gives you a ton of value. The Essentials catalog wasn't new, but we over doubled the size of it, which was actually pretty amazing how much you can get with just that entry level plan. So things like that happened, and yeah, definitely very excited to see people appreciating the changes and taking advantage of everything that's included. So,
and we've already, like you said, we've already seen a lot of great feedback from people kind of saying like thank you, and how much easier it's been. And I mean, yeah, I guess what inspired the updates to the subscription, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like the inspiration is always have a better user experience. It's like with my job, how I usually think about it is you really have to balance many things, right? One, you have to balance the user experience and making sure the customers are happy, but at the same time, there's a business to balance out as well, and ensuring that everything you're doing is sustainable. Because if what we do is sustainable, then we can keep making more stuff, and ActionVFX can keep providing value to our users. For example, we plan on doing some more shoots later this year, which I'm very excited for. Like, it's always good to be on set shooting new assets and things like that. And it's like all that costs a lot, and we need to ensure there's good balance there. But with the new updates we made earlier this month with the subscription, really, it's just the user experience, making something that people are going to love more, that they're going to have more value on, and yeah, hopefully just balance things out for our user base better.
One of the big things I'm sure many people are wondering is like the how much was the community feedback affecting these changes.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share a light on like how what people were saying or doing, or why we thought to implement these changes?
No, yeah, like it's all of it is based on community feedback. When we launched the new model in September, it's I mean, we definitely did expect that some people would say, hey, like there's definitely the side of the audience that definitely hates anything related to subscriptions. But then it's like there's also people that don't necessarily hate subscriptions, but just felt like we could adjust some things to make it better for our users. For example, one of the first feedback that we got was the idea that, hey, if I want to just buy one credit, I just want to be able to buy that one credit. Like, I don't need to have like, oh, you need to at least buy 5 and things like that. And it's like, no, yeah, that makes sense. Why not allow people to have that? So that's one of the changes that we did. And again, like I said, with the idea of credits, it's like some people would much rather have a lower plan, and then they can just get credits when they need, versus say you're just going to get these credits every month. Oh, you don't need them. Well, you're gonna keep getting them anyways, which is not really a good user experience. So yeah, like it's really just listening to users, because a lot of the times it's very easy to think you have figured it out, and it's like, hey, I know exactly what everyone will want, and every once in a while you get it all perfectly, but there's always going to be adjustments that you can make. And yeah, our users are great. Like, they do let us know what they're thinking, and I mean, at the end of the day, ActionVFX was founded on listening to people and actually not assuming that we know everything. So yeah, it's just good to have the opportunity to adjust things as we go along, and yeah, keep aiming for that perfect model, even if perfection will ever be attained, but we can try, right?
We aim for we aim for the small changes. Perfection's a dream, isn't it?
Shoot for the moon, land among the stars.
Thank you, Wyatt. That's the translation. Yeah.
Wait, isn't the stars further away from the moon?
Make a valid point.
You'll get there eventually.
The stars
Just might take a lot longer.
Yeah, you just Well, one of the big things that we're introducing, or is the Essentials plan, and which heavily revolves around the Essential Catalog, which now has over 3,000 assets, and we're expecting like new additions every month. I was wondering if you could talk about what those collections are going to be and what we can expect, just to try and see if there's some excitement brewing.
Yeah, it's like the idea is, I mean, if you're subscribed to anything, I have many subscriptions myself. And really the cool thing is to have something to be looking forward to. And it's like with our library as a whole, that one is always growing. Like our library is always growing. So there's always something new to look forward to. But specifically for the Essentials plan, we still wanted the Essentials catalog to not be static. So it's not just like, oh, it's just going to have the same stuff and it's just going to stay like this. So yeah, that's why we felt it would be good to officially make this a feature, which is that on the 1st of every month, there will be new assets added to the Essentials catalog. And yeah, so that's a thing on the 1st of every month. So February 1st, there will be something new added. March 1st, there will be new stuff added. And yeah, some of these new additions, they will, stay there longer. Some will only be available for a month. But the idea is basically, if you're subscribed, you always have something new to look forward to, something that, usually would cost money and credits. It's like, hey, no, this is just going to be available in the Essentials catalog. And yeah, really excited for that as well. And I know you guys are too, because we have some cool content planned around those additions as well. So
we do indeed. And I was wondering, this is a question for everyone. So what excites you guys about the changes and how they're actually going to impact the creative community? I'll kick off because we learned the other day that British people don't appreciate silence as much as Americans. So I'm going to jump in. For me, we've had access to the library, but having the Essentials catalog has amplified my speed so much. Making stuff the other day, we were working on something for Captain America, and I was going through the Essentials catalog and just being like, yep, cool, I can take that, and that. And I feel like other people are going to have that accessibility locked down where they can just put out as much content as they need to. Or if it's, they are essential assets like, gunfire, smoke, some explosions and dust and debris, things that are commonly going to be popping up in people's scenes. And it's like, great, cool, okay, I can store my credits for something really like specific and exciting later down the line. I feel like a lot of people are gonna relate to that. But let me pass that baton on to someone else.
No, I agree completely. The ease of access of it is going to help a lot, but also just for those who are looking for inspiration, the fact that there's constant additions being added every month. If you don't have an idea, maybe you can look to that for inspiration of what could I make using what's been added recently. And I think that's great.
I'm gonna take a different route, and I'm gonna say that I think I'm most excited about the custom credits and the Essentials plan itself, because that really gives every user the most customization for what their needs are. And it also gives you access to this incredible Essentials catalog that Tom and Wyatt are talking about for a much cheaper price. So you can get in there, you can get access to the entire Essentials catalog. And if you need something else, you can just go and get it. And you can get however many credits you need exactly to unlock those exact assets that you need from the rest of the library. I think that's just really incredible and really going to help out a lot of our users. Because you really can make it whatever you need it to be. ActionVFX, because of that, can now be kind of whatever you want to you.
Absolutely.
It is quite amazing. It's sorry, Tom, but I was gonna say it is like quite amazing, like the I think like if you would have told me maybe 3 years ago that, hey, yeah, there would be a time when you would give people 3,000 assets, for $29 a month if you get the annual plan, or $39, and I'd be like, what? No way! Like we can give that much stuff, and it's and it's live. It's right here. This is a ton of good stuff, and so Tom was saying the idea of these being essential assets. I remember Dust Waves Volume 2, for example, which was one of the new collections that we added to the catalog earlier this month. That was one of our highest selling products. Like, this wasn't like, oh, let's find something that no one has ever wanted before. It's like, no, like Dust Waves were one of our highest selling products because so many different shots need dust waves, whether you're doing an explosion, superhero landing, and various different things like that. You're going to want to add some dust waves in there. And I remember thinking about it, and it was like, we cannot call this truly essentials if it doesn't have dust waves, because it's like, this is such an essential thing to everything someone does. So yeah, that's the mindset for it. And I'm glad people have been enjoying that.
Absolutely. And I kind of feel like now is the place as well to also announce what might be, it's the end of the month. Hang on, we got some. Okay. Wyatt's flags up. Congrats for the success. I was an original Kickstarter. It's amazing to see how big you guys are now. Great job. Hugo's Desk. Hi, Hugo.
Hey.
I thought that was a good comment.
Hey, Hugo.
Hey.
Hugo's awesome. Definitely check out his channel. Great new content. He'll teach you a lot. He's
great stuff about VFX supervising as well. Like, I remember watching a couple of those before I did a job. Yeah, incredible stuff. It's amazing who pops up and just goes, oh yeah, part of the community. But yeah, I kind of thought it'd be interesting to also highlight what is going to be available in the Essentials catalog during February. I don't know whether anyone could do a drum roll, but so, hey, I did not expect that at all. Thank you very much. So, new addition to the Essentials catalog during February is Meteors. That is both 2D and 3D, and we. I realized the moment that I played that, I muted. So,
Tom, do you know, was that comp used or made using only 2D assets, or were 3D assets involved?
I wasn't involved in the creation.
It was just 2D.
Yeah, it was just 2D.
It was just 2D. Yeah, like we didn't have the 3D library back then.
I like it. It looks nice
when it was made.
The 3D is it's a VDB, isn't it? So that is like I've used those recently for the nuke explosion stuff, and they were they're incredibly easy to work with, but give you that flexibility. Obviously, with the 2D assets, they're nice to be able to kind of comp into open scene, but that 3D does give you that. You could follow the meteor or anything like that. Sam, did you work on this comp? Or?
I did not. So this was actually a third-party compositor that we had come in. I don't know too many of the specifics around it, Ro. You might know a little bit better than I.
If I remember, I think it was for a Fusion tutorial, and I'm forgetting the name of the artist that made it, but I'm pretty sure it was for a Fusion tutorial that we have on our channel, and that shot was made for that. Pretty sure, not 100%, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
I remember seeing that shot before joining and stuff like that, and I remember seeing the meteors come up and going, "Wow, they do look pretty awesome." And I mean, a little bit about me. One of the first things I ever tried to do for visual effects was create a meteor coming in. to the point, my name anagram is Low Comet. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to try and make one of those. But like, if I had the assets back then, I would have saved myself a lot of time and headache.
So your first shot wasn't a lightsaber?
No.
That's what most of us.
Yeah, I didn't do a lightsaber until I was like 25. I feel like, yeah, I was doing.
Oh wow!
I was doing like blasters.
Late bloomer over here.
Yeah, I was like doing sci-fi, but lightsabers, I just missed it. What was everyone else's first VFX shot? Just because I've shared that, I want to know from you guys.
Very first,
yeah,
would have been a muzzle flash. I would have filmed it on my iPhone and edited it in Pinnacle Studio 16. And I showed my parents, and they're like, "Oh, you actually are learning." It looked terrible, but they're like, "You're actually learning. We'll get you the Creative Cloud for your birthday, so you can practice more." I was like, wow.
You had to pitch it.
Hey.
Basically, yeah, I had to get them to. They were my investors.
That's awesome.
Well, it worked out great investment they made.
Sam?
So my first real VFX shot was actually the Car and Rain VFX shot.
What?
I really hadn't done visual effects until starting here at ActionVFX, funny enough. But whenever I got here, Ro looked at me and he said, I want you to really understand visual effects and know how to do it. So why don't you go make something and then, show me end of day tomorrow. And I thought, okay, like this rain stuff is pretty cool. So I went to Rowan, like I had this idea, but I didn't have any of my equipment with me. So I basically asked him, hey, can I borrow a lot of this ActionVFX equipment and go out and film this? And this was like my second day. And he was like, sure, I guess. He didn't know if this new guy was just going to run off with a bunch of light stands and whatnot. But then I went out, filmed that, came back, and then worked on it that next day. Watched a bunch of tutorials that ActionVFX had done, and then just kind of put that together. And then it just absolutely, for some reason, took off. And I use that as a testament of how easy and great the assets actually are. Because somebody who's a novice and has never done visual effects can use our assets. They're so good and so realistic that you really don't have to be a pro at all to make something incredible with them. So
if anyone's not familiar with our rain tutorial, that shot is like a staple of most of our our promotional material and stuff. So the fact that was like your first ever one, knocked that out of the park.
I've got a question for Sam. Since that was your first shot, do you remember how many rounds of revisions you had to do?
I don't know, Rob. We probably had 3 or 4. It wasn't too many.
Not bad for first VFX shot that ends up being a staple of our marketing.
There were just a couple things like ideas and ways to improve certain areas of it, like adding light to the tail lights and reflections on the ground. Just a couple things that I wasn't thinking through fully as a new visual effects artist that Ro just kind of stepped in and helped coach me on.
I really don't remember. There were a ton of feedback. Yeah, I do remember the taillight thing that you mentioned, but I really don't remember it being a ton of stuff at all. But it is just crazy to think about. It's like you just came out swinging, man. You peaked on your first shot. That was quite amazing, because usually you get a shot and then you have feedback and you kind of work through things. And then that rain shot, I think, the first version, I saw, it was like, whoa, like this is a car in the rain. This really did happen. And so quite amazing. And it's like, Sam is like, I mean, you have a great eye in general. And I think one thing that helps you a ton with visual effects is like your cinematography experience, because you're already so used to knowing how things naturally occur through a lens. And I think that has helped you a ton. But yeah, like that shot is amazing, and I think our most popular, most viewed shot as well.
Like that on our social media, they'll do the rounds every now and then. If we're like, okay, we need a little pickup, throw in the rain. So keep an eye out for it.
It's always a little bit discouraging because I always try to one up myself and it never happens. At this point, like I'll make something and in my mind this has got to beat the car and rain shot, and it never does, and it's so disheartening all the way through the rest of my entire career. I can never supersede what I did from day one.
But I think that's a testament to any creative field. You never know what's going to be like your best thing you make. You may put all this effort into something, but it could be your very first VFX comp you do that everyone's like, wow, that was just, you knocked it out of the park with that.
I do want to get to this question. It's a question for Tom, Sam, and Wyatt. How did you first hear about ActionVFX? What was the first asset you used? I feel like for me, it was, I mean, I was in the circles of obviously like FX Home and Film Riot is probably being a big one. So probably like found out online and then saw things. And then I can't tell you the first asset I used, but I can tell you the first one I bought and downloaded was probably like, I feel like I've got a recollection of like getting like building fires for something and building fire as essentials and then setting a building on fire. But I feel like there was probably some stuff a lot earlier on than that. Guys, anything from you?
I remember vividly getting ads because I would watch all the big VFX guys, and I would get ads sometimes for ActionVFX, and I never thought anything of it at first until I saw this one ad where it was advertising fire assets and it showed a ceiling fire. And I was like, I never even thought about that. How like if you're using a fire asset, depending on the surface, you got to have different like angles you filmed it at. And ever since I saw that specific commercial, I was like, ActionVFX knows what they're doing. Like they're really killing it. And the first asset I used, I believe, was when I was in film school. I made a student film and we had an opening establishing shot, an exterior of a house, and I did some day for night on it. And then I added the rain assets in because the rain assets are so great. Shout out to there are assets of rain splattering on the roof. And as soon as you put that into any of your rain comps, that's what like seals it, is those interaction elements. I love those elements so much.
Yeah. The subtle details.
Yeah. So for me, I first heard of ActionVFX because I was actually living in the area where ActionVFX is headquartered. Shout out Eastern Tennessee. Just kind of started getting to know a couple of the people that worked at ActionVFX, and then kind of weaseling my way into actually working for the company itself. The first asset I used was actually the rain. Because that was my first VFX shot. So
that's really cool.
Do you remember what the first VFX asset you shot for ActionVFX?
In our library, okay, so ActionVFX officially launched June 2016. So it was like August 2015, we went and had the first big shoot. That's basically the shoot that we spent a lot of money on. The shoot didn't go great, so we had to do a Kickstarter to do it right. And you guys know the story. But anyway, so only 3 assets from that shoot made it to our current website, and it was 3 Fireball assets. So if you go to our Fireballs collection, you'll see 3 of them that look very different than the rest. So these were technically the very first assets that were shot in our current library. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Our quality standards have been high from the
Well, I know that we're talking about our work quite a lot, but we do have some UGC that I would love to show everyone, because I'm not sure if many people know, but if you follow us on our Discord, if you're not a member already, do go over and check it out. But we have a Share Your Work channel, and I thought it'd be good to give those the spotlight they deserve. So I'm going to add a ticker just because, there we go. I'll add this on the bottom just for those details of, you know, where to go and where these have come from. Most of them have all been from, actually, yeah, I think all but one have all been from that channel. So do share your work and let us know. So yeah, you could start with the lion video, Wyatt. Hey, so that was from _Alan VFX.
Big shout out to Alan.
Yeah, I that is a beautiful comp. I obviously
so nice.
I did a trailer preview thing for the lion video, male lion video, and that, like the cinematography and glow of that is just gorgeous. That looks like Mufasa.
I love the flies, like the
Nice
flying,
soft
like
detail.
the flies, like that. That just kind of adds some nice stuff to it. And yeah, if you didn't know, we do have lions and pigeons, and soon many more animals.
And flies.
We're partnering with VFX Grace. They do great stuff, and we're kind of merging our two expertise together to bring you guys some sick animals. So really pumped to see more
And
of those.
they are so good that me and Wyatt last time we were on a live stream couldn't tell whether they were real or CG. Yeah, who do we have next, Wyatt? I love that Rogue got a little cameo in that.
I'm a star.
You better be charging him royalties, Ro.
Well, that's the thing with ActionVFX. It's royalty free.
That was such a good segue.
I played myself.
Yeah, so that was from James. Again, he's over on. Sorry if we have usernames and stuff that people would prefer. These are just the names that were done on Discord. Everyone's been contacted as well to be like, is it okay to show? But yeah, so that was from James. Big shout out to that work as well, because I was clearly using the practice footage library. Great resource. And yeah, features Row. So
one thing, if you're trying to get started in VFX, one of the best like intro effects I think you can do are muzzle flashes. There are so many like practices that go into making a good muzzle flash that you can apply to so many other visual effects. So if you're looking to practice, I definitely recommend that.
good advice. Who's up next? That was from Jack Aiden. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And yeah, that was beautiful. It's like some emotional beats in there.
Music's very nice. I like
Music's very nice.
the weather, the setting.
Yeah. And some destructional work in there too. Up next, we have Judah Goldstein. I hope I'm pronouncing it. I'm so sorry. Butchered that. Now, I know that guy, so, so that was weird for me.
It's like shout out
Right?
Javert. That's like that's the hit film cameo I was not expecting today.
There's some really nice work from using a lot of heat, smoke. Yeah, it's very impact. That punch as well. I love that impact.
Yeah, that all looks really good. Laser eyes. That should be used for superhero. They should keep that in mind.
And I believe we have one more. That was from NDP Productions. That atmosphere is lovely.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
It amazes me what people can do by themselves in 3D. It's crazy.
Yeah. And it's always like, I do this quite a lot, but the blending of like 2D assets and a 3D environment really kind of like level up everything. Because you're using like real assets. So yeah, obviously, as we've put at the bottom, if you're watching this for the first time and you're like, oh no, that's really cool, I would love a shout out for next live stream. Do check out our Discord, share your work. We've got some lovely stuff coming over there very soon. But yeah, I believe we're coming up to the end of today's live stream. But we do have a winner to select. So Wyatt, I hope that you've gathered everyone who's been asking us a question.
And just pick one at random.
No. We're gonna throw it into a random name selector. But that's equally as random. While Wyatt is on a mission to find our winner, let's tease something that's coming up very soon, which is a tutorial that Wyatt himself is actually working on, and yeah, we'll see this for the first time. Me and Sam have seen that before, but Ro, what do you think?
Yeah, I did see it. I said, you don't want to make Wyatt angry. It's, I do really like using the what are they called? I always forget what the burning steel wool. Yeah. It's like I do love using that for the head. Because the first time I saw the trailer for the new Captain America, that's the first thing I thought of was when his hands were, I was like, wow, why is there fire in his hands? That doesn't make physics sense. And then I learned that the Red Hulk apparently is very hot, so that's why there's fire and whatever. Anyways, but yeah, no, that's super cool. Can't wait to see the tutorial and
yeah. Hopefully, Marvel doesn't get intimidated by our effects.
Like, oh man, they did it.
Have them shaking in their boots.
Well, word on the street is the quiet like our assets.
Oh.
So.
Sorry, Ro, you've seen a question, I believe. Hang on, let me highlight that for you. Cool. Okay. Hey, Ro, best thing you guys have done is the practice footage library. Are there any plans to add more plates into this library? Sorry, I'll be.
Yeah.
Was that? Do I continue? Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're good. Yeah, that's a great question, and no, I'm glad. Thank you for saying that. I'm glad you love the library. It was definitely a big passion project there. So it's like the best way I would answer that is I definitely would love to add more plates to the library, and it's like there aren't immediate plans to go shoot some more right now. Like it's definitely yeah, something we definitely invest in. Like it definitely wasn't free. It's like, what was the number? I know it was like definitely over like $40,000 to shoot all of that and whatnot, which is great. Like that's kind of what we wanted to do for the community. We do want to do more of it and keep growing the library, but it's kind of one of those things where you just need to make sense on the timing of it all. And I will say this publicly right now, as everyone is thinking about it, there are definitely plans to not necessarily only provide our stuff. Like, hey, maybe there are some movies, TV shows that have already been shot that have some great stuff that we could maybe partner with the creators on. So that's something we're definitely open to as well. So just putting out this beacon out there. If you have great shots that you would like to give something back to the community and allow people to use those to practice and stuff, then yeah, I would be willing to have a conversation and work with you just to make sure all the rights and licensing are clear, because we do want people to have the freedom to use it in their demo reel and not have to worry about anything. But yeah, just kind of putting that out there, because that's something where I think sometimes we can be so focused on only us doing something that we miss the opportunity that, hey, I'm sure there's a project being shot right now that's probably going to have like some great shots that other people could use. And what if ActionVFX could be the platform that allows you to share that with the world? So yeah, but yeah, I definitely want to do more of that because it's super helpful for people.
I would love to see our practice footage library grow as well. I feel like, yeah, there's some great stuff in there. But if we've got more, then we're going to see more wonderful things being created. Wyatt, how are we doing with that winner?
I have all the names.
Good.
Do I enter them here or do I?
You can. Yeah. Yeah. How many? Wait. How many names did you just select? We need one.
There are 8 names. Hold on, I have them all loaded into a thing. I'm just trying to spin
cool.
the wheel.
It's all good.
Spin that wheel.
Here we go.
Oh, wait. Do you have an actual wheel spinning?
Yeah.
Share your screen.
Oh, wait.
I feel like you if we've got a spinning wheel, I feel like we need to show that. That's wonderful. Please bear with us as we. I promise the spinning wheel will be worth it.
Okay, all the names are in. Share screen.
A wheel.
I mean, how often do you get to do like a game show thing? So again, all these people have asked a question. So yeah, Wyatt, spin that wheel. Who's winning?
Wait.
Ah. Oh my. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce this, but I am going to type that up. Would anyone like to try and pronounce that? I'm very sorry.
Miss Abrahamian.
Miss Abrahamian? Yeah. Well, you have won a VFX starter collection. Yeah, thank you so much for asking us your questions. In order to win the VFX starter collection, do join our Discord. Hop on over, send me a message or DM me, and we'll get you set up right away. If you'd like to tag any of the the support and staff, then I'm sure someone will point you in the right direction, and we'll get you sorted right away. That is the end of our live stream for this month. We are aiming to do these at the end of every month, basically. So going forward, we want to try and do these on the last Thursday of each month. It'll be, different group every time. I'm sure people will come in and out, but it'll be always part of they'll always be part of the ActionVFX team. Thank you guys for joining today. It's been fun.
It's been delightful. My pleasure.
It's been delightful. And, you know,
Yeah.
Ro, any last
Let's do
words,
more of
wisdom?
these. Last words of wisdom. Oh, I'll just say one of my favorite quotes ever, which is do the best you can until you know better. And when you know better, do better. And I feel like this applies to not just the changes we're making with our subscription, but it's just a great strategy for life in general. So yeah, never beat yourself up for not getting something perfect the first time, and just commit to growth and improvement, and you will be fine. That's the word I want to put out in the world today.
That is a good word to end on. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you, guys.